Welcome back, witches and wizards. I'm Amedio602, and today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the Merlin Trials in Hogwarts Legacy. First, we're going to cover why you would want to do the Merlin Trials. Second, we're going to cover what you need in order to accomplish all the Merlin Trials. And third, I'm going to tell you how to solve each puzzle. There are two benefits to completing the Merlin Trials in the game. First of all, you gain 4 inventory slots for every group of Merlin challenges that you complete. And second, if you complete all 95 Merlin Trials in the game, you do get an achievement or a trophy for that, depending on your platform. During the mission to unlock the Merlin Trials, the game will also let you know that you will need Mallowsweet in order to initiate each challenge. Early on in the game, you'll probably need to either purchase Mallowsweet from a vendor or rely on finding it in the wild, but later on in the game, once you unlock the Room of Requirement, you'll be able to purchase seeds and just grow it there. In order to comfortably complete each trial, you will need to have a few different spells at your disposal. Most of these spells come pretty early on in the game, starting with the basic cast. You'll also need Lumos, Reparo, Accio, Confringo, Depulso, Flipendo, and preferably Wingardium Leviosa. Now it is possible to complete the challenges without Wingardium Leviosa, but some of them are quite a bit easier if you have that spell unlocked. There are 9 different types of Merlin Trials in the game, and now we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about each one. First, I'm going to talk about what I call the Parkour Challenge, and you don't even need a spell to complete this Merlin Trial. There's a series of platforms that's going to appear in front of you, and all you need to do is climb onto each platform without touching the ground in between. You can identify the platforms that you need to jump on for this challenge by using the Revelio spell. They will appear in blue on the screen. Optionally, if you are having trouble or if you're just being lazy like me, you can also take the broomstick and just float over each of the platforms, and that usually works as well. If you do happen to fall off the platforms and fall into the water or on the ground or whatever, then the challenge starts over and you just need to start over from the beginning. The second type of Merlin Trial is even easier than the Parkour Challenge, and this is the Repair Challenge. When you start the challenge for the Repair Challenge, there will be statues of Merlin nearby that will all be destroyed. All you need to do is target each one and activate the Reparo spell. Just like with all the other Merlin challenges, you can use Revelio in order to see the statues if you're having trouble finding them. Be sure that you move your character around and move the camera around to various angles while casting Revelio, because sometimes the range on it is a little weird. The third type of trial is the Lumos challenge, and in here you need to gather 3 different groups of, butterflies, moths, fireflies. I'm not sure what kind of animal these are supposed to be. Anyway, you use Lumos, run up next to the big group of fireflies, and then they will follow you. As long as you have Lumos activated, all you need to do is lead them into the different stones here. And by the way, if you do try to climb up anything, or if you roll or dodge or do anything else, there's a good chance that the Lumos will go out on your wand and you'll just need to recast it. The Lumos challenge isn't really all that tricky as long as you can find the swarm of fireflies. Sometimes they're a little bit hard to find and you'll just need to look around in the area. One tip is they usually are fairly close to the Merlin Trial. If you find yourself getting on the broom and looking around and scouring a large area, you're probably doing it wrong. Chances are the fireflies are going to be a lot closer than you imagined and just at some strange angle. Sometimes the fireflies will be hidden behind spider webs or boards, things like that you'll need to break with Confringo. The next type of Merlin Trial has to do with these large rocks in the area. Once you start the trial, you'll see several rocks appear. You'll need to destroy all 5 of these. This one's pretty easy, just find the 5 rocks around the Merlin Trial and destroy them all with Confringo. Next, we've got what I like to call the timed torches, or the Confringo pots is what I was calling them while I was playing through the game. And this is the introductory Merlin Trial where you need to light 3 torches with a time limit. Once you light the first torch, a timer will begin and that torch will start to lower into the ground. If the timer gets to the end and the pot gets into the ground, then you'll have to start over again. But no worries, just find all 3 and then cast Confringo in rapid succession. Most of these are pretty easy once you're able to locate the torches. Next up, we have the basic cast. There will be a series of orbs around the Merlin Trial in this case, and usually it's something about a dozen orbs is what I think I counted, and all you need to do is destroy these with basic cast. Again, the trick here is using Revelio to locate all the spheres that you need to destroy and making sure that you're checking different corners and little hiding places. Next, we've got the 5 little rocks challenges. For this Merlin Trial, there will be 3 groups of 5 small rocks. You need to use the Accio spell to take the rocks and move them to the objectives. Just like with the other trials, you can use Revelio to reveal the objectives, and your goal is to take the little balls into the holders. When you do cast Accio, only one ball out of the group of balls will come up next to your character, but the other ones will follow, so don't need to worry about that. Next, we have the Big Boulder Challenge, and your goal here is to take the big boulder and get it somewhere into a hole that's nearby the Merlin Trial. Some of these holes are obscured, they'll be covered up by debris, you'll need to use Confringo in order to open them up. And some of the big boulders can be a little bit tricky to move. You can use Accio to pull most of the boulders toward you just a little bit. You can also use Depulso to push the boulders away quickly, but most of the boulders can also be manipulated using Wingardium Leviosa. Now, this is not the version of Wingardium Leviosa that is built into Accio. That one isn't what we're looking for here. This is the real actual Wingardium Leviosa spell. Just cast that on the boulder, you'll be able to pick it up and spin around and place it wherever you want. In a lot of cases, these boulders are going to be getting pushed down a hill, so you can just get behind the boulder and use Depulso in order to push the boulder down the hill. You can then hop on your broomstick and fly to the objective, and just use Accio in order to pull the boulder and guide it into the hole. If there's an emergency, you can use Arresto Momentum on the boulder, but even if you do overshoot the hole, it's just going to reset the challenge, so no big deal. Next, we have the Flipendo trial. In this trial, there will be symbols on rocks that are on top of each other. There are going to be 3 groups of these symbols, and you need to use the Flipendo spell to flip the top boulder so that the symbols match what's on the bottom boulder. Casting Flipendo will always take the boulder and push it directly away from you, as if it were pushing from the top of the rock. If you liked today's video, don't forget to hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. And as always, thank you very much for watching.